and for the overall situation and people here in New Zealand. Please also try to get a hold of your relatives. At least the phone lines are still down. I mean, are still open. Social media is still accessible. And just let us know here at the embassy through our Facebook account if there's anything we can do. But we are in close touch, and please contact me from time to time for any updates.
The gunman who killed numerous worshippers in New Zealand mosque on Friday was a right-wing extremist with Australian citizenship, Prime Minister Scott Morrison said. Morrison said the shooting in the Christchurch was carried out by an extremist, right-wing violent terrorist who was an Australian-born citizen. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern spoke at a press conference. Take a listen.
In Christchurch this afternoon. It is with extreme sadness that I tell you that as at 7 p.m. tonight, we believe that 40 people have lost their lives in this act of extreme violence. 10 have died at Linwood Avenue Mosque, 3 of which were outside the mosque itself. A further 30 have been killed at Deans Avenue Mosque. There are also more than 20 seriously injured who are currently in Christchurch A&E. It is clear that this can now only be described as a terrorist attack. From what we know, it does appear to have been well planned. 2 explosive devices attached to suspects' vehicles have now been found and they have been disarmed. There are currently 4 individuals who have been apprehended, but 3 are connected to this attack who are currently in custody. One of which has publicly stated that they were Australian-born. These are people who I would describe as having extremist views that have absolutely no place in New Zealand and in fact have no place in the world. While we do not have any reason to believe at this stage that there are any other suspects, we are not assuming that at this stage. The Joint Intelligence Group has been deployed and police are putting all of their resources into this situation. The Defence Force are currently transporting additional police staff to the region. Our national security threat level has been lifted from low to high. This, I want to assure people, is to ensure that all our agencies are responding in the most appropriate way. That includes at our borders. Many of you will have seen that Air New Zealand has cancelled all turboprop flights out of Christchurch tonight and will review the situation in the morning.
A New Zealand radio journalist tells the BBC World News that up to 27 people were killed in Friday's afternoon's mass shooting. Also, Australia's Prime Minister Scott Morrison has just confirmed that the shooter who was taken into custody was an Australian-born citizen. He says Australian authorities are now involved in investigations as a result of this. Mass shootings are rare in New Zealand, which tightened its gun laws to restrict access to semi-automatic rifles in 1992. 2 years after a mentally disturbed man shot dead 13 people in the South Island town of Aramoana. However, anyone over 16 can apply for a standard firearms license after doing a safety course, which allows them to purchase and use a shotgun unsupervised. New Zealand police also warned against sharing footage relating to a deadly shooting in Christchurch Friday, after a video online showed a gunman filming himself firing at worshippers inside a mosque. New Zealand police said in a Twitter post, quote, "We would strongly urge that the link not be shared. We are working to have any footage removed." AFP analyzed a copy of a Facebook Live video that shows a clean-shaven Caucasian man with short hair driving to a mosque, then shooting as he enters the building. The gunman continues to shoot at people inside the mosque, some of whom were trying to flee while others were huddled in the corners of the building, according to the copy of the video that AFP found on YouTube. And that is the latest news for this hour. From Eagle News Service, I'm Judith Timera and I'm 1 with 25.
Ang susunod na programa ay rated PG. Ito ay nangangailangan ng patnubay at